and welcome to the Swift Talk. I'm Kate, the Swiftie.
And I'm ready. This is Not So Swift Sam.
If we ever do a bloopers reel, I think they'd be pretty entertaining.
If we ever do a bloopers reel, that will officially take the mark of longest episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, hi Sam.
Hi, Kate.
Some Taylor news to get us started.
Is there Taylor news?
There's always Taylor news. Our girl's been busy.
She's busy again?
Yeah, well, I mean, not for Taylor, but like
She's busy again, but for like the
like
average
a normal
mortal.
person. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
She did donate to the LA fires.
Yeah?
So we were talking last week off air about like this rumor circulating that Taylor had given $10 million to relief for the LA fires. And we decided not to talk about it because we couldn't find
Proof. It was a lot of speculation. It was pretty much that whole day was all speculation and for different things about Taylor. And 3 of them had been debunked. This was the one that was like, there's no proof either way.
Right.
So
a couple days ago, she posts on her Instagram, supporting the people impacted by it and all the people working around it. And she posted 10 nonprofit organizations that she was supporting. And she said, if you are able to, please consider supporting these very useful organizations. And that leads me to believe she probably donated $1 million to each, which then would back up the $10 million story. So we don't know. She never tells us what she donates, but
we don't we don't have hard facts that she's donated 10 million, but we do know that she's promoting at
10.
least 10 organizations.
And they're across the board. It's educational, it's music, it's all sorts of things to help LA rebuild.
Yeah. The amount of people that are just like, where do my kids go? It's school. What are we doing about our home? I need food.
Yeah.
Everything across the board, necessity is grand.
Well, if you think about it, you can't do remote learning because
You can't do remote learning if there's no school and there's no home. So all these other school districts getting flooded with new students or trying to, it's been a lot.
So it was really interesting to see how thought through her donations were and the impact that I'm sure she had will not be forgotten soon, I am sure.
That's great.
Yeah. And, then she dressed herself up and went out to dinner on Saturday night with her parents.
Oh, yeah?
Head to toe black, all black nail polish that she wanted us to see. The picture, her hand was like this, showing off her nails. No, like there was a ring, but not the ring. We're all a little like, oh, Taylor.
Wasn't the Super Bowl ring?
No. And then she went to the Chiefs game in all black. And you know who she hung out with at the Chiefs game?
The All Blacks from New Zealand.
No.
Their rugby team. No? Okay.
Caitlin Clark. You know who Caitlin Clark is.
Yeah. It took me a second, but yes, I know. She's the most prominent female basketball player for the past 3 years, mostly through her college efforts, but also in the NBA, WNBA now. Yeah, she's crazy.
Yeah.
She's great on SNL. It's great watching her make fun of Colin Jost. Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, so she was at the box at the game with Taylor, and they were hanging out. It's got to be so, weird for Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is a lifelong Chiefs fan.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So she was actually at the game to watch the Chiefs with Taylor, which is kind of cool. Also a lifelong Taylor Swift fan, so.
I was listening to a comedian who, in some ways, knows Travis.
Okay.
He was been going on a tour, and Travis reached out to him. He said, "Hey, man, if you're ever around Kansas City, let me know. I'll take care." This is the comedian's voice. This is obviously Travis' voice. Travis' voice is like, "Woof, woof, woof." He's like, let me know. I'll take care of you. And so he's like, oh, every time anyone else has been like, let me know when you're in town, I'll take care of you, they usually mean like, I'll get you cocaine. But what Travis meant was, I'm going to give you tickets to the game, and I'm going to set you up with dinner, and I'm going to do these things. And so he's kind of like, this is interesting, this is weird. And he's like, so I went to the game because I didn't have a show that night, and I'm in like this big box, and I'm hanging out, and my phone gets a text message, and it's from Travis, and he's like, hey man, I just want you to know, I'm going into game mode right now, so I'm going to turn my phone off, and I want to concentrate on things. But before I did that, I wanted to reach out and just see if there's anything else that you need. And he's like, this guy, this is a real person. This is the most what person in any athletic field or prominence like this is literally that can I just make sure before I finish and do my job that like you're good? So it's like, okay, Travis is probably actually the best person.
I think he's learning a little bit from his girlfriend.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Just a little bit.
I think he was raised right. I think, Mama Kelsey doesn't mess around. You're going to be a nice guy whether you want to be or not. Both sons are.
Hmm?
And they're, it's interesting to watch. Kylie now has her own podcast too. So you get another glimpse into the Kelsey world.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting to see them and to see the people around them and what they have to say. And you don't get a lot of people coming out and being like, oh, they were so rude to me here. Like, you don't hear any of those stories about them. So it's nice that you're hearing the good stories too.
Yeah. It is nice.
Taking a chance on an up and coming comedian.
This is
I don't know who we're talking about.
This is Ron Funches, who's been a comedian for about like 15 years or so. He's been on TV. He's been in movies.
Okay.
Ron Funches. I don't know. He's great.
He sounds great. Well, speaking of Travis, he was after the win this week. They said, Travis, you feeling 25 again? Like, you're playing with so much youthful energy. And he goes, 22, baby. 22. Neither of you got that reference, did you?
Did you get it?
Yeah, she has a song about talking about being 22. How do I know that?
Is it because we've done it in this?
Produce a podcast.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22.
That's good. What's your regiment?
Well, thanks for the back and forth on that one, Sam.
You're welcome. Anytime. Listen, he was downfield on the play, but he's looking at something else. He's looking up at the bleachers.
Yeah.
The pass just didn't run the same route.
And some non-Travis news, Maddie Healy and the 1975 have a new album coming out this summer. They're going to be headlining Glastonbury. There's a lot of conversation about what the new album might be about.
And as its release is swiftly approaching, they're wondering if these are tailor-made lyrics.
Well, so The Sun wrote an article about it and said that he's got a new song, and it's supposed to be God Has Entered My Body, is the title. And a line in it is, keep your head up, princess, your tiara is falling. And it's widely considered that the song is going to be about Taylor, and he's not going to publicly address it, but he'll put it in his music. And this is on Reddit, and the Reddit people are going strong. And Maddie Healy's verified 1975 account commented on it. Huge, if true.
Okay, so obviously it's just keep everyone's attention so you can get download our songs, stream our songs, buy this album. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's very possible that Maddie could write an album kind of in response to the Tortured Poets.
Sure.
It's very possible that he could be like, I'm good. It could go a multitude of ways, but it's going to be interesting to see it come out.
Unless he's the front man of the band the band itself follows everything that he says and does, which it doesn't really feel like that, doesn't really seem like that.
I mean, if you've got he writes a majority of their songs.
Right.
So,
sure. But it's also like he's the guy who there's videos of him like when he's going to go off on a tirade on stage, the band just starts playing.
Oh, yeah, no. I mean, he's not going to be up on stage screaming.
So I figure if there's three other guys that are like, I don't really want to do a whole album about Taylor, about your ex-girlfriend, let alone. So I think right now it's just media drive. Let's get people interested in this album.
Yeah. I mean, we don't know.
Yeah.
We'll find out in the summer when it comes out or if the first single comes out, but we know an album is coming, and we're hearing some leaks about what it could be about the songs Maddie is writing.
Keep your head up, princess, your tiara is falling.
Could be about Kamala Harris.
Could be.
Could be.
Yep.
Speaking of rough days, I wouldn't have wanted to be here yesterday. Anyway, if you can't, you might as well just escape into Wonderland.
All right, let's see how far down this rabbit hole goes. will Sam grow or will he shrink as a Taylor Swift fan? Will he drink the tea or spill the tea? Is there a hookah smoking caterpillar in this song? We don't know.
But in the end, we both went mad.
Mad Hatter. It's a reference.
All right, so we're going to hit pause. You hit pause. We're listening to Wonderland off.
One of the albums. I don't remember which one this is off of. Is it Red?
1989.
1989.
Taylor's version.
Okay. And in this house, we want to listen to Taylor's version.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to hit pause. We'll be right back. Well, Sam.
Off with her head. It's a reference from Alice in Wonderland. And like a head bouncing down steps, this does have a beat.
And a visual.
And a visual. So let's dive into this rabbit hole. This is Wonderland being
Wonderland Station, just outside Boston.
yeah. So this is when she was notoriously dating that guy from outside of Boston. What was his name?
Connor Kennedy.
Bill Belichick.
She's too old for Bill.
Roughing the passer here. This is all right. 1989. She's coming out of Red, so she's going into more of this pop, bop, synthy.
Yeah.
A little bit more of that Under My Umbrella, which is prominent at the time.
Yeah.
So this is 2010, 13?
It's 2014.
Okay.
I should have that. No.
So yeah, the lexicon's probably the wrong word for this. The ether of music is very much reaving with that like synth drum. It's less wall of sound, but using that empty space in music to really make it orchestral. Dance hall, filling up like it's dance hall music.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like it's a song made to be remixed.
Mm-hmm.
Is what this feels like to me. Like I feel like if it was a new song today and the DJ's Loud Luxury got a handle of it, it would be like all over the clubs.
Yeah, this
got a
is
hold.
Definitely. I mean, that's why she's re-releasing vinyls just to get the back in the clubs. And flashing lights, and we took a wrong turn, and we fell down a rabbit hole.
Well, because you held on tight to me, because nothing's as it seems, and it's spinning out of control. Which I think, if you like think about it, when you fall, like you meet that person, you start dating, and you really do fall down a rabbit hole, and everything is just like new and exciting and technicolor, and you're like, oh, this is such an adventure.
Getaway Cars on 89?
No, Getaway Cars on Reputation.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say, like, is this the album I didn't realize is just all about cars and driving to and from?
No.
Because I'm thinking about Getaway Car, I'm thinking about a snowmobile incident, I'm thinking about...
The snowmobile incident is from 1989.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is this Harry Styles?
We would assume as much, yes.
We would assume as much. I'm going to guess it's not John Mayer.
Nope, that was a couple albums ago.
Guessing it's not John Mayer Hawthorne. Didn't they tell us don't rush into things? Didn't you flash your green eyes at me? Does Harry Styles have green eyes? He's got those go eyes. Have you heard What Becomes of Curious Minds? Okay, so it's that tight and loose with the imagery of Alice in Wonderland.
Mm-hmm.
It's not purely about Alice in Wonderland. It's relating that this feeling, this relationship, this place that they're exploring together is that chaos of Wonderland. It's out of this world. You can go mad here. We both went mad in Wonderland, like that stuff.
Yeah.
So being like just madly in love and then realizing you both ended up just becoming mad, even if you're not in love anymore.
Yeah. Or crazy. You're just crazy about each other, and then you make each other crazy.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Because so you just make, like, you end up just making each other crazy. I think that ties into with, like, the bridge. I reached for you, but you were gone, but I knew I had to go back home. You searched the world for something else to make you feel like what we had, and in the end, in Wonderland, we both went mad.
Mm-hmm.
So that idea of it being like, okay, if your relationship is crazy in a whirlwind, and it ends, and one person's like now trying to find whatever is close to that, ends up being emotionally or mentally at the same stage as like the person that they left behind, the person that was the ex or whatever. It's that being like, oh yeah, we both ended up just going. We were both impacted. We both ended up just going crazy. So we're separately, but we're back together.
Well, I think even if you take like a different look at it, like I reached for you, but you were gone. Like you're in it so much that you didn't realize the other person had left.
Dude, yeah, okay.
And that's kind of how I took this, where I was like, you're in this like whirling chaos, and then you like come up for air, and you're like, wait a minute, this is just me. Like I'm the only one still left here.
Right. That's okay. I like that.
And I think that's where you're like, am I nuts? Like, did I imagine this? Did I create this in my head? Did this really happen? Because if you fall like in Alice in Wonderland, like, did it really happen?
Right. Am I dreaming this whole thing up? Did this really happen? It's so surreal. When it came to Taylor and Harry, like we've touched on their relationship, but we've touched way more and way deeper on other stuff that's way more prominent in the music.
Right.
She doesn't really have a lot of diss tracks against Harry. She has music that involves him, whether it's like the sweetness or a little bit bittersweet, but nothing that's literally just like screw Harry Styles.
Right. I mean, we're not getting an all too well or a could have, would have, should have, or a Dear John.
Right.
Like we're not getting those out of Harry. They seem to have a good relationship outside of this now. She was deeply supportive of him winning the Grammy. That everybody was kind of like, really? Harry's House? That's what you're picking for Album of the Year?
Sure.
So, like, I think it's interesting to see, like, there clearly was a lot there, and it clearly ended best case scenario. And we do get a little touch of a diss track, I guess, in the bonus songs from 1989. There's some where you're like, okay, like, you can see there was some anger, a little bit of anger, not nearly to the extent of what we've seen in the rest of her discography. Like Harry definitely got a kind edit.
Harry and Taylor Lautner.
Yeah, I mean Taylor Lautner. Those are the songs you don't want.
Right. It's and so when you say bonus tracks, you mean like when this was originally released, not the Taylor's version.
Right. So the bonus tracks are like the deluxe tracks, and we really liked New Romantics. And then this was the other bonus track, Wonderland.
Okay. And listening to Taylor's version, like this song here feels more like a compendium song to what you would have heard on Tortured Poets. I know it's revisiting 1989.
Well, and again, this song as is was on the 2014 release. Like, so we're starting to see where Tortured Poets could come from.
Right.
We're seeing where Midnights could come from. We're kind of getting a feel for like where she was gonna go. We didn't know. And then she went to Reputation, which was a little different. And then we got the Folklore Evermores, and we're like, okay, like, and then we're back into kind of where I think, in my mind, if you look at the Taylor discography of it all, you could take 1989 and then put Midnights and then put Tortured Poets.
Sure.
And it would feel very much like the growth of a singular artist.
Yeah.
So then to put Reputation, Folklore, Evermore in there, it's kind of like, okay. It paints a very vast picture of like how she feels about her music and where she eventually wants to come home to.
And it's funny because I look at that and I see like Folklore Evermore are a different path altogether. Lover's very much a different path.
I always forget about Lover.
Sure.
It's such like a forgotten album to me. I really need to spend some time. I need to go back and revisit it.
Lover, from my freaking two wrinkled koala brain, Lover just seems like it's fluff. Lover feels very pretty. Lover feels very safe. And then you have these things where like this album is the strongest departure from Taylor and country because you had Red where it was both. And it's like that hardness of like, you can't stay in both places at the same time. So she's like, I really want to go to pop. So now we are moving into pop. And 89 is pop. Like, this is pop. It's dance hall. It's it's like, this is the song that would play in a club anywhere in the world type of feeling. Like, that's what's going on. And when it came to Folklore Evermore, it was like, yeah, time and place. And like, this is the sound I'm going. This is the feeling I have. It ties to that pop branch, but it's very much a departure. Lover is just like a safety thing, and like, I'm kind of complacent in my life, and I don't know where I can't really show the world that I'm like dying inside or whatever this is. Yeah. And then Midnights is that like, Midnights is Lover, but actually honest. It's truthful and it's unabashedly so, and it's, I don't care if I'm going to scare fans away or not. I'm doing this.
Yeah.
And so she's taking more chances. It's way more out there and in your face, and the idea of it being like, you can listen to this album backwards and forwards, and the idea of like all these things, it's cool.
I think for Lover, and this is why I want to go back and revisit it, because I actually, when I was blow drying my hair today, I usually just listen to like, this is Taylor Swift, and I put it on shuffle, and so I never know what's going to come up. And I got a couple Lover songs, and I was like, this doesn't feel like a love album to me. It feels like a on the edge of heartbreak album, like an anxious attachment, which I think I've said before. But like listening to like Paper Rings, or listening to, I think it was Miss Americana came on, and I was like, ooh, like, this is an album where you are so afraid because you can see the end and you can see how this plays out, and you don't want it.
Sure.
And so it's very like, I think when you get something like Wonderland, where she's like, I think in 1989, she put such like a positive spin. She's like, we both went mad, but we were in Wonderland. Or like, Heartbreak's a national anthem. We'll never go out of style. But are we out of the woods? Like, you see a lot of anxious attachment through Taylor throughout all of her discography. I would even through Tortured Poets. Like, it seems to be like that thread that connects everything, no matter what the genre is. But it's interesting to see this song in particular, which she really wanted to put on the album, clearly, but it didn't fit into the story she was telling on the main album.
Right.
But like, as you watch it now, as you look at this now, and you're like, you could put this on Lover, you could put this on Midnights, you could put this on Tortured Poets, because that theme of like, well, it didn't work out, but like, wonder why, or what happened, or like, we both went mad. It's very much like I think you go through those whirlwinds, and you have these people who fall into your life, and there's love there, and there's so much, but you can't really disentangle, and you're not mad, but you see how it's ending, and you can see like 3 steps down, and you're like, oh, huh. Like, am I here alone? Am I the only one that sees this? Like, are you already out the door? Or are you so far like into the it is what it is that you're just like, we can stay like this, it's fine.
Which is, it's not my idea of what this song sounded like on the original 89. Like 10 years or so ago. Her voice is different from 10 years. Not like immaculately so. It's not like she went from like, I'm Taylor Swift to I am Taylor Swift, obviously. But like, she's putting in that polish, that experience. It's a new studio, revisiting it to make it hers again. But it really feels like it's her song.
Well, it's interesting because a lot of people, this was the first re-record that really got a little bit of pushback. People are like, no, I think I like the original better.
Really?
This isn't doing it for me. This doesn't hit the same.
Sure. I mean,
and you knew it was coming. Like, eventually, with all the re-records, people are gonna be like, "This doesn't sound like."
well, yeah. I mean, like, it's gonna sound like a different bubblegum if it's a different bubblegum.
Yeah, and it is a different piece of bubblegum.
Like, this just feels like, if this was on Lover, I feel like it would have blown the other songs out of the water, and in some ways felt the most disingenuous because it was the most honest.
My hot take about the deluxe songs on 1989 is they were 2 of the strongest songs on the album that got none of the love.
Well, I mean, you just went through the list of 89 songs, just like rapid fire titles, and I'm thinking about it and be like, yeah, New Romantics and this. Like, yeah, it's not all of them can be a Shake It Off. Shake It Off's always going to stand on its own, but like these 2, just that hits.
I think it's very interesting to watch Taylor's selection of what she picks and how she does it. But the bonus tracks are either like, I'm obsessed, or I'm like, all right, I get why this is a bonus track. So it's very interesting to see like how she frames things in these songs and where you could pick it up. And this is easily could have been about Maddie Healy, put a stronger bass, a little less up tempo happiness. You could have thrown this on Tortured Poets and it could have been this like dagger of a song.
It's very much a song that, yeah, if you're getting lost in the relationship and realizing, oh my God, they're not even there anymore. It's not as prominently impactful as someone who's betraying you, somebody who's cheating on you, somebody who's actually like a manipulator, those things. But yeah, it's still like that loss is there, which you can feel in this song, but it's not as like you come out on the other side. And whether you're mad with joy afterwards because like at least I was touched in this relationship, or it's just like, oh right, I got so caught up in life altogether that's why it's like, oh right, isn't this great? Oh, you're not even here. Like that's the bittersweet stuff, which is like, yeah, this would work perfectly with frickin' Typewriter.
So she mashed this song up in Milan during the Eras tour. And it's always the mashups that I find to be the most fascinating part now, because it's interesting to see what songs she thinks kind of tell a better story together.
Was it the one?
It was the one.
Each and every week we roll the Jillian Petruzziello, how are you and your fellow die?
Which I still, like, hands down, the one I think is the best opening to any Taylor Swift album.
Dude, that song is where Shake It Off is a league of their own. That song is definitely one of her penultimate songs. Like that it's a banger. It is so simply orchestrated. It's just little plucky strings, her on the piano. It is impactful.
If you think about this, though, like the anxiety Taylor and her team must have had opening an album with, I'm doing good, I'm on some new shit.
The anxiety of doing a song that's not showcasing your anxiety, but letting it be like defining it and showing how you're departing from it, or trying to.
This song too, like, you know, when she's like, the song is about, you know, your choices and the consequence and the chaos of them, but it's also about like you come out the other side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The one is coming out of the vet.
The one is like
this is the cat is scratching the post, and you're like, I think I gotta take care of my cat. I don't know, but it's great that I have a cat. Like it's
just your cat. No, I'm following.
Yeah,
I followed that. Well, I think it's like the thing. The one is where you look back fondly, and Wonderland is like you just came out of the rabbit hole.
Yeah,
and so I'm like, yeah, I can see the connection of the two. And since we've connected songs, maybe we should roll our dice and see what we have next week.
All right, now that hit the cue properly, each and every week we roll the Jillian Petruzziello. How are you and your fellow?
It was her birthday.
Happy belated birthday,
Happy birthday,
Jillian.
Jilly.
Hope Fletcher
and Fletcher's
took you out
birthday is
soon, right? That's
tomorrow. Happy birthday, Fletchy.
Deuce.
Yeah, Fletcher's always feeling 22. So we had a great time at TJ's on Sunday in the snowstorm.
Sure. All right, we're going to roll for an album. We're going to roll for a song. We have Reputation off the list, but we have other albums to choose from. I don't know if we have anything that's really like super close to getting
Midnights,
done yet.
I think. Midnights were close. I think we're getting super close to Red.
Yeah. Well, needs a number that's actually on number 10, Midnights.
All right, let's see what we got.
All right. 4 and 8 is 12.
Sweet Nothings.
Sweet Nothings.
Yeah. Sweet Nothings.
Sweet Nothings in my ear. Nothing.
Well, we'll see how this one goes. It's an original Midnight. She's into like the original side.
It's an original Midnight?
Well, you don't
where
like
there
the
covers
2
on
a.m.
Midnights that I'm not aware of?
You don't like the 2 a.m. version.
Dude, I don't like the 2 a.m. At 3 a.m., I must be lonely.
No one bought me a 2 a.m. version. I just have the original version.
We're waiting for the 5:30 a.m. version.
It's called Till Dawn.
The alarm clock version.
Relax.
Oh my God. I'm still waiting for the snooze button version.
Thanks so much for listening. If you haven't already, like, follow, subscribe, rate, review. TikTok didn't get banned. I did go back through some of our TikToks, and oh boy, they're a vibe. I know. Tell 10 of your friends. Tell us what you think. Subscribe on YouTube. Let us know.
Yeah, let us know. Follow Taylor for more fun ways to donate and help people out and be awesome. Let us know what you're contributing to, and we'll put that up as well, and we'll get something going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let us know if you have ever been in Wonderland. I don't know.
But in the end, we've all gone mad.
Yes.
We're all mad here. Thanks again for listening. I'm Kate.
And
That's 50.
And I'm a guy in a hat.
I do not like green eggs and ham.
Different hat. Close. Yeah.
Thanks again. We'll see you next week.
In a world of Alice in Wonderland. Be a Dr. Seuss.